For more on this election, let's talk to Christian Malard. He's a French journalist and joins us now from Paris.
Good morning, Laura.
We saw some pictures there, good morning, of people going to the polls in the early hours of Sunday. Our correspondent said that voting did seem to be brisk, but polls have suggested high rates of abstention. Why might that be?
Well, according to the latest polls we had on abstention until last Friday, when we had the latest poll, abstention was estimated at around between 25 and 28%, which is quite a lot. And at the same time, we have also polls which was rating the undecided at around 30%. And I think these two phenomena will have to be taken into account for the results of the first round for tonight. It's very important, I think. And this is where maybe part of the game is going to be played between Sarkozy and Hollande, the two main favorites, as you know.
And how crucial is it for Sarkozy to come out of this first part of the race on top?
Well, definitely Sarkozy. In the latest poll we were allowed to publish until Friday, 3 polls were very favorable to François Hollande, the socialist contender, the main rival to Sarkozy. 2 was a tie, and only 1 was given a slight margin of advance, a lead to Sarkozy. Let's put it this way. I have been talking this week to one of the very closest collaborators to Sarkozy, Monsieur Copé. It was last Monday, and Monsieur Copé told me very openly, if we want to have a chance in the runoff, to have a chance to beat Hollande, definitely we would need to have a lead around 3 to 4% at the end of the first round. Will it happen tonight? We will find out. It's too early to say.
Indeed we will. Do the French think that any of these candidates are good enough to lead France out of its economic doldrums?
I did not catch...
Are any of these candidates strong enough to lead France out of the economic doldrums?
Well, this is the problem. A lot of people say we still need Sarkozy because he knows what he talks about. He has been in the political affairs for the last 5 years. He has been running the country at a difficult period. A lot of people acknowledge that Sarkozy, we want to reform this country, had his hopes for reforms crushed by the world economic crisis. And at the same time, they still think he could be a good leader even if he did not hold all his promises. At the same time, Mr. Hollande doesn't have much experience. He never had any government portfolio. He has been just the leader for 11 years of the Socialist Party. And a lot of people believe that Monsieur Hollande is not very specialized in economy and foreign affairs. But we will see. As I told you, you know what it has been about in this country. There is a strong anti-Sarkozy feeling that Monsieur Hollande has been surfing over to try to win this election. And this is what is at stake. Will people vote by default for Hollande or just to eliminate Sarkozy? This is the question.
Christian, we're just looking at live pictures as you talk there of François Hollande greeting his supporters as he heads to the polls this Sunday morning to cast his vote in this first round of France's presidential elections. He is the front runner to contend the incumbent president, Nicolas Sarkozy. We're now crossing over to pictures of inside one of the polling booths where we can see Jean-Luc Mélenchon of the left front actually casting his vote as we speak. Christian, what is the appeal of Mélenchon, this far left candidate, I beg your pardon?
Well, Mélenchon, as you know, is a former Trotskyist. He's a former member of the socialist government. He quitted the Socialist Party 4 years ago. Now he's on the far left, and he is the man who filled the vacuum left by the communists. Now he's with the communists, and it's in some way on the far left, as you said. And Mélenchon, in the latest poll, which was given until Friday, had probably around 15% chances to get votes. And at the same time, Mélenchon might be, if he get a good score, might be a problem for Monsieur Hollande, because Monsieur Hollande will have to take into account the Mélenchon votes for the runoff, and probably if Mélenchon is doing a good score, probably he will have to pick up as a prime minister of a future government Madame Aubry, the leader of the Socialist Party, who is in certain way in his politics, in his program, in her program, closer to Mélenchon than Hollande. This is another part of the things we will have to be deal with in the future.
Okay, Christian Malard, we'll leave it there for the moment. Thanks very much for joining us as we saw the socialist frontrunner Hollande and the left front Jean-Luc Mélenchon cast their vote. Thanks very much.